Let's take you through some of our observations from practice here today at St. John Fisher College. Our player spotlight was on Tommy Sweeney. We talked about him, the tight end, the 7th-round draft pick for the Bills from Boston College, the second tight end the Bills chose in the draft. I think made it pretty clear about how bummed I am about Dawson Knox being missing all this training camp time. But, yeah, Sweeney has an opportunity thrown his way, and he's taking advantage. I talked to him about a week ago. Actually, it was a week ago yesterday out here at training camp, and he was he did not acknowledge that the opportunity was there, which I get. You don't want to celebrate somebody else's misfortune, somebody else's injury. But Tommy Sweeney has taken advantage, I think. He's not great, but he's making plays. I do think, Steve, he'll have a lot of work to do to be a benefit to the run game. But as a pass receiver, a guy with good hands, I see it. I see him getting open a little bit too. I got it.
Yeah, I think that's the better part of his game. I think we had some thoughts early on that he said that he was a pretty good blocker too. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, he's, you're going to start noticing these guys when they get their opportunity. Certainly, they're not going to not throw the football to the tight ends during training camp just because a couple of guys got hurt. And he's out there for a reason. He signed a pro contract for a reason. The kid's got some physical abilities. He's got some skill. And he's got some size as well. He catches the ball really well. The rest of his game, you have to wait and see. But I told you earlier in the show about the questions about depth and what you're most worried about. Tight end is not it for me because I've seen guys like Sweeney and the rest of those guys, Lee Smith and Tobridge and all these guys, Nate Becker, they know what they're doing out there. And, of course, there's not a lot of physicality out there, so you don't know how these guys are blocking in the run game. But in the passing game, there's enough there to go around, particularly for training camp until these three top guys get back.
Tommy Sweeney caught a couple of touchdown passes from Josh Allen during the red zone work, extensive red zone work in today's practice. First play in red zone, it was ones versus one, and Josh Allen hit a slanting John Brown for a touchdown, a 10-yard pass. Remember that play? It was a beautiful play right in front of us. Great catch, great throw. And there were a lot of good things. Cole Beasley, we watched him a lot today. Kept our secondary spotlight on Cole Beasley. Interesting, I saw him line up in the backfield down there in the red zone, saw him line up in the slot, and saw him line up, obviously, as the outside receiver. He moves around a lot. Even in the backfield, they line him up there.
Yeah, they're going to have – I think it's what every team does with their guys who they've got, and Cole Beasley's certainly that guy at this point at training camp. Cole Beasley's the guy they want to find. They want to make the defense work to find him. If he's going to line up here, how are we going to, if we want to double this guy, or we want to make sure our top guy's on him, how are we going to do it if he's lined up here? And then they move him. Now we got to switch and got to make a check. And then they got to put him in motion, which he moves to another spot. So they're really making the defense work hard to keep Cole Beasley at the top of their coverage list. And they're going to make him go through some hoops to do that. And that's part of being an NFL offense.
That red zone work took Steve and I to our answer to the question, who won the day? And Steve's answer is a guy who caught a touchdown pass in there. Chris Brown talked about it. A good post-up move for Duke Williams, the CFL product, who caught a touchdown pass and a huge spike to follow. You got Duke Williams winning the day.
Yeah, and it wasn't just that the touchdown catch there in the team period or in the red zone pass. It was also in the one-on-ones I watched him work and some of the other drills I saw him do, even some special team stuff that I saw him do. Duke Williams is starting to emerge as a guy who's given a full effort on the practice field. And you said, the knock on him was, listen, he's got to learn the system and be in the right spot all the time. But he said, I'm going to do everything 100 mile an hour, whether I'm right or wrong. And that's starting to show up at this point at training camp. 10 days in, he's getting the feel of what it is in the NFL training camp. He's had a lot of success as a pro athlete in Canada. And now, at this point, he's starting to flash. And today was, my first real, I spent some time watching him because he started getting my attention, and that's why I think he won the day.
Sean McDermott made a joke about 2 days into this camp about all the Smurfs he had at wide receiver, all the small guys. Duke Williams is not a Smurf. If McDermott is looking for a counterpoint to that size differential, Duke Williams is the answer if he can contribute.
Absolutely. He's a big dude. And he's the things that we saw him do today, like make the contested catch in the end zone, and some of the plays he made in one-on-ones were also contested catches up high. He brought it down. I mean, he was battling, and he's doing it against some pretty good DBs on the Bills roster. So that they're going to, if You're right. If they go the direction, if they feel like he could contribute and be a constant contributor, not only on offense but on special teams as well, he does give them something that nobody else gives them on this roster, and that's a big-time physical wide receiver.
I got an answer to who won the day, and it's a guy who hasn't really won any days so far. We get questioned all the time, how does Tyree Jackson, UB quarterback, look? And, quite frankly, he didn't get a lot of reps, did not get a lot of snaps. Today he did. When they got into red zone, he's out there with the threes, but I got Tyree Jackson as my pick for who won the day. He threw 2 good touchdown passes during that red zone work, one to the tight end Kyle Carter, one to the wide receiver David Sills. I thought Tyree looked as comfortable as he has looked since this camp has started. He's had problems with mishandling snaps and not getting good snaps. That was not a problem that I saw today. And look, at best, he's a practice squad guy for the Bills, you would think. But I thought he finally, 10 practices in, finally showed that he can make plays for this team at this level. I thought Tyree Jackson won the day, and I was happy to see it.
Yeah, and I think, too, they kind of realized that Josh is getting all these reps on Thursday when the Colts come into town. Be playing, taking reps.